All right, getting ready to load some rounds for my 308 to go back out and try to see what happened to it the other day, why I wasn't hitting paper at 100 yards. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with some Hodgdon Varget, which is a very, very good powder for 308. And I always load my 308s at 44.4 grains with a 168 grain Nosler ballistic tip boat tail bullet. So I'm going to set this up for 44.4. I'll do a test run here. Make sure I'm dropping 44.4. Okay. It's going to stop a little bit short and it's going to start to trickle. Okay. That's 44.4. We're going to do it one more time. On this second test, make sure it goes back to 0. Okay. 0 it out. Start back at that 44.4. Okay. Ran 44.4. So what I'm going to do, dump that back, start it one more time. 0. Okay, we're at 0 now. And we'll do a 44.4 one more time. Okay. It's not stable yet. I've got this thing on a 300-pound steel table to make sure that it stays steady, it doesn't vibrate. Telling me it's under. So what I'll do is I hit trickle. Go back, I hit trickle again. And trickle. There we go. And that should stable it out. Yep, 44.4 stable. All right, we'll get set up here and we'll get ready to get started. I've got 14 rounds I'm gonna load. And it shouldn't take that many. Hopefully it won't. I think someone just tampered with my scope. We'll see. Stay tuned. Okay, now I have my 308 brass that I've already primed. I've polished it, primed it, and deburred it. So it's ready to load. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set up my 44.4. Go ahead and start that. It was hot. Okay, and we're gonna start with this one at the back. I like this little trickler because while I'm doing this, while I'm seating this bullet, then I can automatically start the other one, dropping the powder for the next one. Okay. So go over here. Okay. So now, there we are. One loaded 308, seated, and ready to go. Okay. Okay. We've got them loaded, ready, 14 rounds. And you see the other 36 I didn't load, but I'll keep track of the times that I fire this brass just to make sure that we're getting the same amount of fires out of each piece, because they're going to start to split. Normally you get about 5 to 7 loads out of a piece of brass before it starts to split on you. So we're going to keep track of that, and stay tuned. We're getting ready to go out to the range and see what happened with this 308. Got to bear with me today. I was in kind of a slow hurry, as my mom would call it, when I left home to do this, and only got a few hours, well, not a few, a couple of hours of daylight to get this done. So we brought 308 back out here. I'm going to shoot it, see if we can find out what the problem was, get that problem corrected. Hopefully it was just someone tampering with my dials and nothing else. I don't think it would be anything else. So we're going to shoot it a couple times and see what happens. I'm cheating because I've got a large sheet of cardboard down there. Normally you would do this at, say, 25 or 50 yards and then stretch it out. I'm just going to go ahead and take it to 100, but I'm going to see what kind of pattern it shoots. As long as I get a pattern, I'm good. Consistency is accuracy. If I get a pattern, then all I have to do is adjust my dials back to that pattern and we're good to go. So I saw that my dials were not set on my zero, which is what I always do when I zero scope. I turn the turrets back to zero, where the zero lines up with my little dot on the side. That way, if I move it or something, I know how to get it back. So I changed it a little bit, but we're gonna shoot and see what we get down here at 100 yards. Stay tuned. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna put 3 rounds in. I went back to my larger setup here. Let's get this over here. I went to a larger base instead of the junior. I'm using the larger one here. Just give me a little more stability. Take out all the possibilities of something else being wrong here. And okay. Okay, I see a pattern already, so I'm not worried about that right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and dial it over to the pattern. And it is definitely someone has tampered with this. It's shooting about 2 foot to the left. Okay, we should be back on paper now. Let's see what we got here. I think I'm almost done. I'm gonna let one more go. If this hits where it's supposed to. Yes, people, I'm done. Someone had messed with my turn, and guess what? It's right back to zero. Someone messed with it, took it off. Now she's ready. I knew this. I knew my baby was right. So now I'm done. I can go back to the house, and that's at zero, and that's set at zero. And I'll show that to you. I'll show you what I'm talking about. When I zero my scopes, I always set them back to zero. I was in a hurry the other day. I didn't take time to look at it, but now that I'm out here, I took the time to look. I think this scope has been that way for a while. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about right here. Okay. Whenever I zero my scope, once I get everything where I want it, I set these dials. If you can see this right here, you see a little mark right there. I set my zero to that mark. The zero lines up with it. And then that's the same way with this one. And I thought about that the other day. I said, well, still, I want to shoot it to make sure. And that's what I did. So we'll go down here and we'll take everything up. This only took about 10 minutes total. I've got some nice rounds loaded. If I wanted to hunt with those rounds, I could actually hunt with them, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna, well, I don't know. I've got 10 of them, so I may do that. I may take 3 of those rounds with me in the woods. Yes. Those were my first 2 shots right here. Let's see how close they are. And these are my last 2 shots. See how close they are. So there's no need to mess with that. This actually was the first one, and that was the second. So no need to mess with that. She's good. We're ready to go hunting. In closing today, the one tip I would give is whenever you go through the process of sighting in your scope and getting everything right, go ahead and loosen those turrets so that they're not changing your dial. They're loose, and you can spin that dial back to zero and then tighten it down. Sometimes you have screws on the side of them. You can loosen those little screws and the top plate will spin. In a target scope like this, which I don't really use hunting scopes. Hunting scopes are like, you know, they're 9 powers or whatever. I started out with those, but I got to where I just like the target scopes because they give you more magnification. They give you more options as far as what your crosshairs look like. I wish I could I'll just show you these crosshairs in this Vortex. I love them. So I looked it up online, and when I clicked on it, it'll show you what the crosshairs look like. And I saw that, I said, oh, that looks good. That looks good. I like that. And so go ahead and pop that cap so it's not turning your adjustment, but you can turn it back to zero. That way, if something happens, someone messes with your scope or something like that, you can easily just go back and turn it to zero, and you're back on point. Just like I did today in a sense, but I wanted to shoot just to be safe because that's me. My confidence has to be really, really high for me to go in the woods with any kind of weapon. I like to shoot it, make sure it's right, and because you don't get that second chance at that once in a lifetime buck, which you never know when he's going to show up. I've had my once in a lifetime buck to show up in 2005, but I don't know. There may be another once in a lifetime buck waiting on me in 2025. So that's 20 years apart. And I just want to be ready. And that 308, I love that round when it comes to hunting. Love that round. It is a beautiful round. And it's very accurate and it's powerful. I even I read of a hunter taking down a grizzly with 1 shot from a 308. So that's a real good, powerful round. And just take that tip with you as far as setting those turrets back to zero once you zero it in. because we are changing the game. We're changing the game. And this is part one. Part two is coming. Part two of the 308 Revenge is coming. So stay tuned, stay with us. Until then, happy fishing, happy hunting, and be safe out there. Have a good one.